for our next run. So this will be the other Children of Morrigan class. I want to see what they do. They also have 100 base HP and 8 to 12 damage. Their passive skill is if you didn't receive any damage last turn, become focused. And while using their ultimate ability, Pathfinders gain additional energy and draw bonus cards from their deck. The amount of cards and energy depend on the number of collected charges. They charge their ultimate by playing stance cards. Interesting. So they are very much around, centered around block, it seems. Each class has its own ability card too. That makes sense. Pathfinders avoid taking damage in order to become more powerful with each turn. So focused, I would assume, stacks if they say more powerful with each turn. We also unlocked a new difficulty level. Basic fights, basic enemies, basic bosses. Basic fights, deeper enemies, basic bosses. Okay. So we have deeper enemies. Not sure what that exactly means, but we will probably find out pretty soon. I have looked at the summoner a little bit. They summon minions that do the attack for them. They have lower base HP and damage. And they summon minions. Their ultimate ability can level up those minions, and they do more stuff in general the higher the level is. And the summoner rarely attacks directly. They can always command their minions to attack though. And whenever their minions are attacked, they will also take a little bit of damage. So that is interesting. They use barrier as a defensive mechanic. So the kind of temporary HP. Let's take a look at the Sentinel though. I haven't looked at them at all. Base HP is 60. Base damage is 6 to 10. So both stats significantly lower than the Children of Morrigan faction. Sentinels focus on shooting as many arrows as they can. Their weak statistics can be greatly buffed with thoughtful preparation. Ultimate ability, Sentinels collect energy from used arrows to unleash later as their ultimate ability. Passive skill, whenever you play an arrow, your phantom will attack the same target, dealing 1 additional hit for 50% damage. Ooh, that sounds interesting. You know, let's try difficulty 2. Why not? Difficulty 1 did go pretty well. So let's see what the deeper enemies, what that means. The fights didn't change, so I'm not quite sure. Basic fights. Anyways, with a new run, we start out in our village as usual. Let's take a look at our base deck. We have shot. That's an arrow. Deal 1 hit for 100% damage. Pretty basic, but it is 0 cost, which is very exciting. Smoke shot. Stun a chosen enemy and increase its armor by 50 for 2 turns. We stun them, but we also increase their armor for 2 turns. Do we stun them for 2 turns as well? If so, that's a really strong effect. Quiver. Arrow bag. Draw 2 arrows. Quiver allows you to offer your energy and or ultimate charges to draw more arrow cards. We have 2 of those. They have 3 charges. Not quite sure what that means right now. This is our ability, Phantom's 8. Draw the Shadow Shot card. Ability. The Shadow Shot card doesn't seem to be in our arrow tab. Not part of our deck, maybe. We have some maneuvers. 1 out of 2. Maneuver, a card that has many states. It flips to another state after being played. Gain 25% damage for 3 turns. Becomes this turn gain 100% damage but lose 25 armor for 3 turns. Oh, it shows the shadow shot if I hover over. Ah, there it is. Spirit arrow. Deal 1 hit for 100% damage and reduce target's armor by 10 until the end of combat. Not bad. Multi-shot random enemies for plus 25% damage. Multi-shot. Use all arrow and spirit arrow cards in hand. Modify their damage by the shown percent. If empty, they deal 100% damage. And an arrow storm costs 2 energy now. Multi-shot random enemies for 50% damage. We have feints. Gain 10 armor this turn. Then gain barrier equal to 100% of your armor. Huh. Gain barrier equal to 150% of your current armor. But it doesn't give armor. Okay. How are we staying alive? We only have 60 HP. We have no block. And the only defensive card we have right now is feint. Okay, we have 4 of them. So I guess that will usually do pretty well. Especially if we have multiple of them in a turn. Our ultimate. Deal 0 hits for 33% damage to random enemies. Each ultimate charge equals 1 hit. Charges by playing any arrow or spirit arrow card. Okay. We start with all barriers last only 1 turn. Oh. If you start the turn with negative armor, gain barrier equal to 50% of the missing armor. Okay, that is very interesting. Phantom, whenever you play an arrow, your phantom will attack the same target, dealing 1 additional hit for 50% damage. Yeah, the ultimate does seem pretty powerful. I mean, the fully charged Weird Hunter ability hits for 500%. Well, this is a bit harder to charge. Not sure. We'll have to see. We start with an empty bottle. Oh, we still have the quest items. Yeah, that makes sense. 2 healing mixtures, 5 weird candles as usual. We don't have any runestones to start out with. Okay. We have 100 wealth to spend. Oh, here's the crumbling man here. Summon the final boss with 3 weirdstone hearts. I think I want to start with runestones, honestly. Crack a car in the weapon slot to increase our base damage. That would be very potent. Our base damage is quite a bit lower than the Weird Hunters. We have 6 to 10, so that's an average of 8. Weird Hunter has 8 to 12, which is an average of 10. So this is 25% more base damage for us. That's not bad. Increasing armor also seems important for this character. So just having some base armor seems nice. Let's go with a cracked gar and a cracked ether. The healing after each combat and the extra draw from the calc is also nice. But I'm gonna go with these ones. Just increasing our base damage and just increasing our armor. Because these both seem stats that the Sentinel scales quite well with. Okay, let's have a look. We can see something of importance over in this direction. There is a milestone. That seems to be a milestone as well. That one is close to the boss. The boss is over there. So I kind of want to finish the right-hand side before moving over here. Potentially activating this milestone and then going from there. Just checking out all the valuable things in that direction. So let's start over here. Let's light a candle before we enter this fight. And see what we get there. Okay. This charges up to 15. Oh, damage of hits increases with the amount of charges collected. One to 5 charges is 2 to 3, which is 25% of our base damage. 6 to 10 charges is 5 to 7. Which is about 2/3. Not quite, actually. And then 11 charges is 100% base damage per shot. Okay, that is potentially 1500% of our base damage if charged to the maximum. That is a lot. So we have that costs us ultimate charges to use, it seems like. Let's draw the shadow shot to reduce the enemy's armor. Then go for a normal shot. They are immune to stun, so I don't think we want to play the smoke shot. And the barrier dissipates at the end of turn. So barrier for this character is more like block. Like in Slay the Spire. Something along those lines. Reduce damage of all enemies. If not played, reduce the cost of one random card. That is useful. Gain 25% damage for 3 turns. I think we want to play that. And then go for a shot. And now we could play the Quiver using our ultimate charges. And I'm gonna go for the... I'm actually gonna trigger the ultimate. Okay. Oh, we gain blood from normal enemies. No. Nice. Standoff. Draw 2 arrows, gain 50 barrier, but requires 5 ultimate charges to play. Overdraw. Gain 100 damage this turn. And the upgraded, or the flipped side is 200% damage this turn. Bombardment. Multi-shot random enemies for 0% damage. Damage is increased by 10% for each arrow in hand. And it flips to Vicious Bombardment, which uses 25% for each arrow in hand. Huh. We need more ways to draw arrows. Maybe standoff is what we want. But 4 ultimate charges is quite expensive. It is also a good defensive card. 50 barrier is quite a bit. Overdraw seems nice as well. We already have Hold the Bow. Oh, that is now flipped. Does that stay over combat? Interesting. I assume if you play it again, it goes back to the base version. I like the idea of standoff. We need to find a way to generate more ultimate charges. Increase the ultimate ability's damage by 25%. Drawing additional arrows increases your armor by 5 this turn. Or just increase your armor in general by 10. I'm gonna go with the studded armor, honestly. That is decent. I think the draw additional arrows one only affects arrows drawn during the turn, not at the start of the turn. At least that's what I would assume. Oh, these are not my favorite enemies. Perverted Life Force. They have strong aura. Negates every hit under 12. We have Deformed Peasant and a Faith Healer. Well, let's generate a Shadow Shot. I think we're gonna go for... Well, we need to reduce your armor. Actually, I want to reduce your armor. But we do our actual attacks against you. You will grow stronger with every hit. We don't have anything else to do with this, so 75 barrier, I think that will be enough to just go straight for this enemy. Multi-shot random enemies for plus 25% damage. That could work. We have an unbreakable feint, so we would gain 30 armor from that. Let's get the arrow back. Phantom quiver and then release. Did I miscount? Yes, I did. Oh, we had the smoke shot or whatever it was called. Wait, why is your armor increased and you are stunned? How does this card work again? Stun a chosen enemy and increase its armor by 50 for 2 turns. We obviously stunned that enemy. Why did your armor got increased? 6 hits for 5 to 7. That's not gonna kill you. I guess I messed up and we're gonna take some damage here. Uh-oh. We don't have a lot of health to spare with this character. That sounds good. And then we follow that up with an arrow storm. Multi-shot. Well, the smoke shot doesn't deal damage, so it's not actually that good. It's only gonna... Maybe the Phantom randomly shot smoke but didn't stun him. But then shouldn't the Faith Healer also get the plus 50 armor? It seems like it split the effect for some reason. Going for Shadow Shot on you. Just to keep reducing your armor. And we have enough. If we lose our armor, we would take about... Well, right now we're taking 80%. This will make us take a bit over a quarter more damage. So you would probably hit for like 8 plus 9 on average, like 17. Something like that. And you would probably hit for like 10, 9... 17 about. Yeah, even if you all hit for like 10 or even more, there will be no problem. Yeah, with right, you gain extra damage. That is luckily not a problem either. Do we want to use the smoke shot? We don't have to stun any one of them, but I don't want to attack the healer pretty much anyways. Now the Phantom will attack the target, dealing 1 additional hit for 8 to 12. The Phantom doesn't copy my shot, he just attacks for base damage. Half base damage. Let's draw a bunch of arrows. I want to finish you off. Keep reducing your armor. And I think before we kill you, we go for the healer. Where did we get 2 barrier from? Oh, because of the negative armor we had. Oh right, with negative armor we are much worse at blocking. This will take me a while to learn. Yeah, the charge cost is you pay 4 charges, but you gain 2 arrows, which will then again fuel your charges. So it isn't quite as high as it seems, but you need to get there first before you can actually get those charges back. We have 50 shield already, so we don't need to do anything, and I don't want to smoke shot you. Our armor is back. Let's play an arrow bag. 2 shots here. A shadow shot. And our ultimate won't finish them off because of their strong aura. So we gotta go with Fiends here. Actually, no, the enemy wasn't even attacking. So. 1 blood per enemy killed, it seems like. Swift movement, gain 30 armor for 4 turns. That is pretty useful. Agile draft, draw 2 arrows. Why would I take Agile draft over arrow bag ever? They do the same thing. Arrow bag costs 1 less charge. Am I missing something? Usually the base cards are worse than the cards we can pick, but here it seems to be the other way around. This has 3 stages. Gain 30 armor for 4 turns, then gain 30 armor for 2 turns, and finally gain 30 armor this turn. Oh, so it doesn't stay. It doesn't stay this powerful. Shot of Hope, deal 1 hit for 125 damage and draw a card. And it's 0 cost? That seems extremely good.
Early explorers of Avalon found many springs with supernatural properties, including ones that could heal. Not many of these miraculous creeks are left these days, since most were drained dry to provide water supplies for Arthur's soldiers.
Yeah, we can take 15 health.
You feel refreshed. However, you feel a strange chill running down your spine like an icy finger. It might not be safe to stay here any longer.
Take a risk and drink some more. For 3 health? Yes. We get a fight. That's some experience. And perhaps some money. Incoming is 16. Maybe we should leave the deformed peasant for last. We need to start reducing your armor. And I think we are gonna focus on you first, although right now we are very unlikely to deal any damage to you, so probably not. This is 30 armor. That should help. I guess we still focus on you then. 11, 19, yeah, we can do another hit. Then we do an arrow bag. Shot of Hope. 22 maximum. We can do another hit on you. Now that's 25. And that is gonna be 28. We're still not taking damage, that is fine. Okay, we have 2 more energy. That probably means feints and unbreakable feints because, well, we could have played the arrow bag instead. What increased your armor? Increased by 25 for 1 turn. Oh, that must have been the healer. Decreased by 50 for a turn. Okay then. Well, they are healing everyone, so splitting my damage might not be ideal here. As long as we have such good defense, I'm not really worried. We don't really have a good multi-shot setup here. Just gonna draw some arrows and play them myself. Keep reducing your armor, we will need that eventually. No, we're not going for you anyways, but stunning you doesn't matter either. If we stun anyone, it will be the healer. Oh, that was a single target heal. If not played next turn, gain 10 armor, or we could gain 50% damage this turn. Standoff seems good, that protects us and gives us some damage. Let's play a Phantom's Aid and then a Tainted Force for 50% damage this turn. And we try to finish some enemies off here. That worked out quite well. Keep reducing your armor so that we can eventually deal significant damage to you. This class doesn't seem about using the ultimates all that often. Gain 25% damage for 3 turns. That seems worth it. I think it's time to finish off that healer. Maybe I should have used the ultimate here. Just for the finishing hit, but it doesn't seem to matter all that much. Standoff seems like a very good card. Shot of Hope. Smoke Shot. Another one. Oh, we don't have any more shots in the deck. That is something we need to pay attention to.
As the waters heal you again, the
Spring runs dry. We got healed to full though. That is potentially worth it every time. Because you do the fight, unless you die in the fight, I guess. And then you get healed to full, so any damage you took in that fight will be healed as well. It might not always heal you to full though. Okay, no damage incoming, but we lose 25 armor for 3 turns. That matters, because we will have a hard time defending ourselves. But we have a lot of damage in this hand. What is this? Gain 100% damage next turn? Or it's a huge hit. You know, we just go all out here. Go for your armor. Draw an extra card. Standoff. That sounds useful. Should have played this earlier. That is a lot of overkill. Don't want to increase your armor, but I want to play the standoff to get some more shots off. I think that was worth it. Should have used the ultimate again. We can actually use it. We don't always have to spend our charges for playing cards. Yeah. That's mostly why I took it. Not for the 3 healing. And I also wanted to find out what it does. Deformed Peasant, and you are Summoner, Illusion Summoner. We want to play a Fiend. And I think we go for the Summoner first. Draw some more. Just for the Phantom Shot. Didn't quite get there. But I guess stunning them is also nice. I'm gonna do a bow draw. Shot of Hope you. Okay, we have no arrows in our draw, but we have lots in the discard, so will we draw from the discard? We will, yes. Without shuffling even, we will just draw them straight from the discard. Guess we just can't draw them from the grave. That makes sense. Bottomless bag. Draw 0 weak shots. 1 for each 2 ultimate charges. Weak shot is a shot. Spirit arrow, deal 1 hit for 75% damage. Sharp shot, deal 1 hit for 150% damage. Or finishing touches. Draw a finishing shot, deal 1 hit for 200% damage. That costs us 2 ultimate charges to use. But we get 1 back because of the finishing shot. So this is 1 charge and 1 cost. This will, in the worst case scenario, it will draw 2 shots. And maybe sometimes a smoke shot when we can't use it. But 2 shots are 2 hits for 100% each. So unless we have some multiplicative effects on a single hit, that is not gonna be much better than the arrow bag. And if we add good shots like a sharp shot, then the arrow bag can do more than 200% in total. This one on the other hand is interesting, but we would need to charge our ultimate quite a bit before it becomes useful. That is probably something we can build around. Charging our ultimate and then deliver a bunch of weak shots and use the ultimate and then recharge it with the weak shots. I want to try this. Increase the minimum damage you deal by 3. It's just 3, but then again we do scale quite a bit with damage. After playing an arrow, gain 5 armor this turn. Man, that sounds really good. Increase your health by 40. I'm gonna go with the suppressive fire. Cracked calc. If we need some healing, it's nice to have it. Fortune seller.
Stranger, are you in need of some guidance?
It's a question asked by an eerie yet elegant woman who's just appeared in front of your eyes. She's of indiscernible age, but looks strangely disturbing, standing peacefully within the Wyrdness.
You can withdraw the course of your destiny and change the fate of your future fights. Come closer and see for yourself.
Tome of Knowledge, draw a card. Talking Skull, discard all cards in hand and draw 3 cards. Oversaturated Runestone, fully charge your ultimate, and a Wyrdness Mushroom. Last time I ate one, it just dealt 30 damage to me, which is such a huge downside that I would really not want to use those. Because it could just straight off kill you if you're low on HP, or I don't think I'm gonna spend my money on consumables right now. Let's go for that milestone next. I'm probably not gonna activate it. I think I will just take the weird candle from it. We could activate it to illuminate a large area around it, but we are gonna leave this area as soon as we're done with this fight, so it's not gonna be that useful. We wanna go for the infected human first. I'm gonna go for an unbreakable fiend. Hold the bow. And go for some damage against you. That was pretty effective. We have negative armor, so we're gaining some defense at least. But I think, what is this? Deal a large hit. Yeah, that seems quite nice. I'm gonna go for the shadow shot. Shot of hope. Shot. And if we didn't kill there, we would have the stun anyways. Another runestone. Glad to pick up some of these. Marketplace.
Is going to be worth it.
Ah, we can continue investing.
How
You
much
know
would
what? I like investing my money into permanent stuff. Should have looked at the shop first, but this doesn't seem like I would need those things anyways. Let's fight you before we make our way to the Treasure Guardian. Two Faceless Hunters, they will deliver more hits each turn, unless they're stunned. Start with the Fiend. And then go for some damage. Numbing Bite. Every hit reduces the target's damage by 5% for 3 turns. Every hit they do? Because it's certainly not every hit they take. Their damage hasn't reduced. No? I have no idea what this Numbing Bite does, or is supposed to do. Because, well... Attacks on barriers don't count as hits. Also, it is every hit they do, but they attack my barrier, so they didn't trigger it. So that is basically... I mean, that hardly makes a difference, right? They attack for... Their base damage is 5 to 6. So... 5%. Like, they would need to do a lot of hits before that actually matters. I don't want to arrow storm, or do I? Well, I might as well. It's a damage increase, and then we can play a feint to not take any damage. That's the bottomless bag. Let's build some charges before we use that. We can finish you off with the smoke shot that we are likely not gonna use anyways otherwise. With 3 more energy, that means we definitely play the shadow shot. And let's see. Draw 4 weak shots. Oh, he consumes all the ultimate charges. That is sneaky. It's at 2. It doesn't say that this goes up as well. Oh. That makes this card not bad, but much less exciting. Yeah, some of the things in this game are still a little unclear.
As you walk carefully in the
But I
woods,
hope they
lithe
will
creature
continue
runs
improving
towards you.
upon that.
It takes you a moment to realize it's a human. He brandishes a short wooden stick, screaming and shouting in despair.
My children! I've seen what you've done to my children!
This guy again.
Barbarian! Sacrilegious scum! You shouldn't have done that. What will I do without them?
Last time we
Watch him,
insulted
confused.
him, chased him
He
away.
looks malnourished, as if he's had nothing to eat since he entered the Wyrdness. And you're sure that was a long, long time ago.
I failed them. I couldn't protect them. I'm not worthy of it anymore.
Turns out the stick he tried to beat you with was an instrument. A flute. He sniffles. The flute is a strange one. Mysterious markings and blood cover its surface.
Take it. It's your duty now.
Why would I need a weird flute?
It plays a simple melody. Suddenly rats swarm all over you. You've seen enough of them already to know how this will end.
Kill him before he summons more rats, or ask him to stop? Let's ask him to
Why?
stop.
They were my children. My lovely children. Look.
He plays a simple melody and the rats suddenly stop. Some sway from left to right as if dancing to the rhythm.
You see? They would never hurt me.
Are there any other songs you can play? Okay, I'll take your instrument. You will gain one wooden flute in your inventory.
Use it. Use it every time you see them. Play this every time you see my children. Promise me. Promise.
You bow to the stranger and leave him to his madness.
Did he say we did something to his children? Huh. Wooden flute. Reduce damage of everyone by 50% this turn. Can be used once per combat? That sounds extremely nice. Wow. You're the treasure guardian, huh? A grotesque nobleman. This enemy will attack his own subjects to heal himself and try to debuff you. Undying subject, this enemy will resurrect after death and attack its master once before the old habits of loyalty and devotion kick back in. Base damage 10 to 10. This undead is subdued by the King's Dark Power. All of its hits are healing its master. Okay. How do we deal with this fight? All of its hits are healing its master. We definitely need to reduce the master's armor. That has to happen. We also need some defense this turn, so we're not gonna use bow draw. I think we focus down the master. Or at least we try. That was not that much damage. They didn't heal, so it's only if they actually manage to damage me. This is a lot of damage they're intending to do. That might be a good time to use my wooden flute. Then again, I have lots of defensive cards in my hand, so 15 armor right now. My armor was decreased by 10 for 2 turns. That will do. I don't think I want to use the bottomless bag. Oh, now it uses 3, even though it only gives me 1 weak shot. Yeah, this card is not that good right now. The release might be worth it here. Reduce damage of all enemies by 100% this turn. We have standoff, so that's not gonna be necessary. Don't want to target random enemies though? That is the problem, huh? Enemy tends to attack all allies and buff. Maybe it's time that we kill those off. He just keeps buffing his armor. That's a problem. Ah, 75 is the cap. We should probably kill you off. So you're attacking your master, it tends to attack its ally and debuff. Oh, they will reduce his armor, I would assume. not stunned anymore, right? Attack its ally and debuff, yes. Let's transform this one back to a normal fiend. That's gonna be more useful, I think. Decreased by 70 until end of combat. That is much more useful for us. I'm gonna generate a phantom shot, shadow shot. I will defend once, otherwise I would take some damage here, and then we're just going for the noble, even with the weak shots. I shouldn't have spent those ultimate charges, I might still need them. Luckily we have the phantoms 8 every turn, so that will do. No wealth, but some blood. Well, the wealth we get is gonna be in this chest.
You found what was when you filled.
We can gain 30 max HP, an armor slot for runestones, or a new combat slot for items. Let's gain a new armor slot for runestones. Runestone slots are quite powerful. What do? We could increase our armor by another 10. We don't need healing. We could gain the 30 max HP that was promised to us by the chest with the slot. I'm just gonna go for more armor. Because our block depends on our armor, so then it's not just damage reduction, but also block increase. So it's double efficiency, basically. Abomination attacks everyone. I think I will focus on the Mindbender first, because their summons can be annoying. I think I'm gonna go for the extra hit here. That doesn't count for the... Yeah, of course it wouldn't. It's not a shot after all. Let's reduce your armor as well. Draw some arrows. Shot of hope. Shot. Not playing the smoke shot because we don't have to. There we go. Multi-shot all enemies for minus 50% damage. But all enemies, huh? Multi-shot all enemies for 100% damage. Deal one hit for 200% damage. Heavy shot. That is also better than the quiver that gives you a 200% damage arrow. That gives you pretty much this arrow at 0 cost. Because you don't have to spend charges on it. Rancid Battlefield. Reduce enemies' armor by 25 until the end of combat and gain 25 armor for 3 turns. Pungent Cloud, reduce enemies' armor by 50 until the end of combat and gain 50 armor for 3 turns. Double the cost, double the effect. That is not bad. I will take the heavy shot though. Shots are good because they charge our ultimate. And we need a certain amount of ultimate charges.
You enter a small glade, quite unique in the way its
play
grass
many of our
reflects
cards.
the surrounding weirdness. You see dozens of jars overflowing with a strange liquid. They're filled with a variety of different monstrous body parts. Then you notice a woman who is taking pieces out of some of the jars and placing them into others. You get really close before she raises her head.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't notice you approach.
She points at her face. You realize that one of the young woman's eyes is made of glass. Glass, a rare material, especially in this world ravaged by war.
Sight-related issues.
She chuckles nervously and takes an enormous hand out of one of the jars. She starts scratching her head.
Welcome to my dominion, the Altar of Knowledge, as I call it, as this is the place where knowledge is born.
What do you mean?
Many of my potions are still in development, I admit, but I think I could give you a very special potion in exchange for the most valuable component you could provide me with.
Meaning?
Gold, of course.
Huh. Who are you anyway?
I'm a scholar in training. I've devoted my life to two things: gathering knowledge and performing experiments. But when I think about it, it's one and the same thing. Experiments help in expanding my... I apologize. I tend to spiral within my thoughts when I'm hungry. I think I haven't eaten for a week now.
She continues like that for a while before she catches your gaze.
Master Iron always took care of such things. He remembered about food and other earthly things, but he disappeared.
Join my village then. It will be safer.
She considers your offer.
But will I be able to continue my research? Back home, people weren't very keen about my approach to science.
You nod, hoping that you won't regret this decision.
Then show me the way.
Okay. Combat encounters will now drop consumable items. Remember to equip them and use them. They can make the difference. Something. Let's move to this thing over here. I think I'm gonna boost this one.
As the flickering light of the weird candle combines with the
And now we can safely, without using any burn level or weird candles or anything, move over here. Go for this fight and go for at least one more. Seems like a good opportunity to just go all out of it damage, because I don't really have anything else to do. And we can just get the kill on turn 1. That wasn't a lot of experience though, but at least some wealth and blood. Tainted Force. Reduce damage of all enemies by 20% this turn. If not played, increase random cards cost by 1. I would like to play that if I can. Seems like that's gonna be possible. Doesn't matter who we shoot at, because you redirect all the hits anyways. We should start with the Phantom Aid though. No, that's not the... it's not the card I generated. Arrow Storm. Well, can't play that. I don't have any Archie left, whoops. Well, I guess we have to deal with one card being a bit more expensive here. Let's draw some arrows. We should be able to get the kill here. You're immune to stun, so we definitely don't want to smoke shot you. It leaves us with not much to do. Just 7 damage, that's all. And here I was afraid you're gonna blow up in a big manor. We should be able to stop you though. There we go. Cracked car. We can combine them. So now they increase our weapon damage by 4. Very nice. Training grounds. I think we've seen this one before.
Come, train if you feel like it. These may be mere illusions, but they hit and kill. Just like the real versions.
The knight refused. He's hungry.
You tell the druid that the knight doesn't intend to go anywhere because he's hungry. The druid sighs, and there's a palpable sadness to this sigh.
I could have expected that. Well, I tried everything. Nothing helped. I wish there was something I could do about it.
Tell me more.
When you see him, you're not looking at a knight cursed by the Wyrdness. Nothing like that. What you see is a poor child, cursed by the sins of his father. He's the son of a warrior who came to Avalon to serve Arthur's cause. In truth, he came here to serve his own cause, to drown his insatiable bloodlust. War breeds such people. Or perhaps, I should say, war gives them an environment in which they can become their true selves. This man, this horrible man, had a son. He always took him to battle and treated him like a lucky charm. Then, after every victory, the child was spoiled with whatever it wanted. At first, it was treats and trinkets. Then the son started to watch his father and to learn from his father.
Uh-oh.
Soon, there was no innocence left in this child at all. Instead, only gluttony and lust for all things morbid, and nobody dared to disobey. And then, the Wyrdness came. Its ways, sometimes they are poetic, sometimes quite literal. It mistook the child's need for fatherly attention for gluttony.
Ah, that's why he was so surprised when I refused to be eaten.
Yes, you're probably among the first to ever dismiss his wish. But since even this didn't work, I'm out of options. I have no idea how to convince him to come here, where I can at least keep trying to help him.
I'll ask around. We'll try to find a solution. Or why do you care so
As
much?
you probably guessed by now, I was there. I was employed by his father, and I saw what happened to the poor child. I tried to help. I tried to prevent all these horrible things, but, well, I couldn't.
I'll ask around. We'll try to
Thank
find a
you.
solution.
I hope you'll come up with something. The child doesn't deserve this.
Yep, I agree. Hit me with all you've got. Last time it was pretty easy. Ogre. This enemy will attack only once every few turns. Defending against its attack will severely damage your armor. Gain 10% damage for every hit received. Immune to stun. Okay, this might be a bit more dangerous. Will severely damage your armor. So we can defend against one hit probably pretty easy, but the second one with reduced armor will be harder. Maybe we have to use the wooden flute to deal with that. And in any case, I think I should focus on this mindbender first. Don't want to play the bottomless bag. They buff their armor, that's fine. Deal one hit or gain 10% damage. The 10% damage could matter quite a bit in this potentially longer fight. Takes care of that one. Well, there is only one enemy left, but I don't want to smoke shot them. So the multi-shot is not that great. 10%. Ooh, that is gonna be rough. I don't think we can kill them before they get their first hit off. Lose 25 armor for 3 turns? That might be a problem if we do that. I hate this smoke shot. Don't think we can lose the armor. You serious? 198 damage? And we have no defense in our hand? Well, we have a shot of hope. And the wooden flute. Okay, we need to spam a lot of shots to increase our armor. Then we can use the feint to block a lot. But every shot we do increases their damage. But it also increases our armor, so it lowers the damage again. Feint is gonna be 1 cost. I definitely play the shot. This is 2 arrows for 3. This is gonna be 1 arrow per 2. Use the wooden flute. Oh, that just reduces... Yeah, of course. That's how damage works in this game. Oh, it also reduces our own damage. Well, this looks like we are dead. Straight up dead. This enemy is nasty if you can block their hits. I guess what we should have done is maybe not attack them at all.
Within the darkness, you hear a familiar voice.
Finally, now we can start the cycle of proper rebirth.
A different voice appears out of nowhere, and its owner is nowhere to be seen.
Be gone.
It is calm, inhumanly calm.
Can I invite you to the table?
You see a hooded figure waiting for you by the table. A chessboard sits upon it, the game in progress. As you take the free chair, you realize the creature has no face. A white skull leers from the shadows of the hood, a human skeleton draped with robes.
I admit, I'm not used to showing up in person whenever people die. That's too much hassle with adjusting my presence to your current imaginations and whatnot. But let's say that your case is special.
I am dead? You are death? I am dead?
Yes. And yes to that other question, too. You're technically dead, but there are certain things that prevent you from, let's say, being properly gone. Recent events had consequences going beyond the intentions that sparked them. And now we're stuck in this unfortunate predicament because time, as you know it, is irreversibly corrupted.
Recent events?
One king commanded a great army in order to conquer an island. Another king pushed back with an army of his own. One wizard wanted to beat back powers he didn't understand. And the creatures of this island fought against them, using magic that wasn't meant to be used.
You realize the pieces have reached a stalemate.
time got corrupted.
The past and the future are happening at the same time. All that you see is an echo of things that already happened or eventually will, presented without inherent sense, without purpose, without any logic.
You see 4 figures on the board changing shapes into forms of beasts, and a moment later, they dissolve into dust.
You must slay the Guardians and keep slaying them until you reach the source conjuring them out of the Wyrdness. Their deaths will make you stronger. This will lead you to your destination.
Well, each run can be lost, but part of the accumulated power is transformed into new possibilities for the upcoming runs. We get some infinite training. Duplicate the next card played. Let's see what it cycles to. Duplicate the next card played. Next hit deals a 50% damage, but at 2 cost. Downward spiral. Duplicate the next card played. Next hit deals 200% damage. Problem with that is it's 3 cost. Well, many of the attacks of the archers are 0 cost. Yeah, spiritual flurry. Draw 7 weak shots at 1 cost. Just... oh. It's 10 charges though. It is 10 charges. But 7 weak shots will give you 7 charges back, so if you have those 10 charges, it's a strong effect. 7 weak shots, that's 75 times 7, that's 325% damage. No, that's 525% damage. That's a lot. Very strong card to build towards, I guess. You want to make sure that you don't spend too many charges and that you have plenty of shots to generate charges with, and then boom. Destroy them. Scavenging. Discard all cards, gain 1 ultimate charge for each discarded card. Not that exciting. And now it's discard all cards, gain 2 ultimate charges for every discarded card at 2 energy. That is a bit better. Insightful scavenging. Yeah, sure. Target practice. Whenever an enemy was hit more than 4 times in a turn, reduce its armor by 100%. By 100 for 3 turns. Not bad. Each hit has a 5% chance to deal 100% more damage. That is pretty unexciting. Well, it depends. Yeah, it's pretty boring, I think. We recruited 1 more villager in the scientist. Didn't make much progress beyond that, although we did get to speak to the druid to take care of the large knight, who is actually a child.